Hey everybody, this is Tier Zero Gaming with a Sunday pre-release for Modern Horizons 3. I'm Alex Gilmore, joined with me today.
Gabriel Hipp.
Alright, looks like we got Gabe, your match versus Ron. You're on some sort of probably Jeskai energy list against Verdant Rakdos. So some sort of Jund list, I'm assuming.
Very light splash.
Yeah. Looks like both players might be keeping 7 here.
Same. Ready, Freddy?
Alright.
Zach, I cast magic missile at the dark quest.
Ron with the...
Quest for the Necropolis.
Yeah, the mono black
Rose.
regrowth effect, or not regrowth, but
Quest for the Necropolis with a landfall trigger on it.
yes, it's the graveyard recursion, creature recursion card. Whenever you landfall, you put a counter on it, and it gets cheaper to be able to regrow a creature from the graveyard. I believe it's any graveyard. Yeah.
Is that whenever you play a creature?
Landfall.
Yes. Do you remember much about this deck you built here, Gabe?
No, I do not.
Energize.
Let's say so. We got. Is that the?
It's
Okay,
a
so that's the
card draw
looter.
with energy.
Yeah, that's the looter, energy looter. Makes 2 energy, tap pay an energy, draw a card, discard a card. So we getting in with this goblin, I'd assume.
We are not, because it just gets eaten by this lifelinker.
Well, the lifelinker's a 2/1, so I would get in with the goblin, yeah.
Come on, I guess we did get in.
That's a trade I would always accept. Alright, another one of these fetch lands for Ron. You can get these landfall triggers really fast with all these fetch lands too.
Sure
actually, so you
can.
could-
Pretty sure he did end up getting all of these on the next turn after he gets his little snake dancer out.
A Feomancer, classic card.
Just lifeline?
Just like Lee.
You said, why don't you have this on the TV?
There's some trades, both players back up to 20.
Pass turn.
Snake. Snake on the upkeep.
Snake has been made.
So now you are more or less unable to attack.
Sure am.
So this snake's just going to try and trade with everything that you play. You have to find a way
Sure
to get this
does.
out of here.
Got
I
this.
see a Ral in hand.
Yeah,
actually.
Ral in hand does not feel good with no instants or sorceries, though.
No, probably not. But I'd imagine you have a good number in the deck, period, to be able to...
I want to say I had less than 10, so it definitely felt bad going in.
Okay. This might be a good way for you to deal with the Ophiumancer, though. This creature can get past the... or trade with the Death Touch Snake and then pop
Kill
the
the
energy to
yes.
kill the Ophiumancer. Seems reasonable.
That was my thoughts exactly until I think he just straight up killed it.
Let's say 2/2 prowess, makes 3 energy on ETB. When it dies, you can pay 3 energy to sacrifice it, or not to sacrifice it, to have it deal damage equal to its power to any target.
Medallions don't reduce like generic, right? Not generic. The Carless it only reduces generic. No, Carless is a requirement.
So
Is it like
Ophiumancer,
generic versus Carless?
Crack these two.
He is
Yeah,
now
no, if
fetching
you-
for his lands to get
Alright.
those quest counters on the Necropolis.
So Ophiumancer is a 2/2, so if the golem dies at any point, we can just use 3 energy to shoot the Ophiumancer dead at that point.
Sure can.
So
Unless it
this-
gets exiled, right?
Yes. Looks like we drew a Startled Awake for turn. Kind of awkward seeing it doesn't look like I see any white sources in hand.
We did not get to a white source till late in the game on this this one.
So I think we could also just go land drop, pop the Goblin to destroy the Ophiumancer, but I probably wouldn't want to do that with that Necropolis on 5 counters.
Sure don't. It just brings it right back at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Alright, runs out the Rel. And a Charge Bug. That's able to give some of your creatures menace. +1/+0 and menace whenever you attack, I believe. Double check if the
+1/+0.
yeah +1/+0 on menace. don't think the bug itself has to attack.
The bug itself has to attack. It's an attack trigger on the bug.
Is it attack trigger on the bug?
Yeah, and so you can only give one creature menace, and you have to pay the energy.
Yeah, whenever it attacks, you pay 1 energy, and target creature gets +1/+0 menace.
This fetid Gargantua. This is about to become 6/6 next turn.
Yep, 4/4, adapt 2 for 3 mana. Whenever counters are put on it, you may draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
Both players are sitting in parity. We're just building boards at this point. Still no planes for Gabriel over here to play that Jolted Awake.
Yeah, you don't really have any good attacks here. The best you could do is get in with this.
Combat, I'll pay an energy, giving this guy menace.
Okay. So you're going to get your charge bug eaten for sure.
Yeah, the charge bug is going to just get eaten.
I'd imagine you're trying to just bait this Gargantuan into, or your golem into dying anyways, so that you can kill this Ophiomancer.
And Ron sees my plan.
And just eats the bug.
Just eats the bug.
Problem with having to kill this Ophiomancer twice.
Yeah, you're a 7 quest counter. It doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Right.
You could have stopped at 5 man.
You definitely need some sort of removal spell. The Gargantuan has to go. The Ophiomancer has to go. There's so many must-kill threats on Ron's side of the board at the moment. Looks like Ron probably... Are we
Ron is
adapting?
adapting. Response.
Yeah. Okay.
Kill 4 damage.
Pops it with the Goblin. Makes sense. I like that play. Probably means we're regrowing it with the Necropolis. But the Necropolis needed to go regardless. It's stopping you from being able to properly deal with a lot of these creatures. Yep.
Hi. Hello.
He's back. Are we gonna... We're not bestowing this unicorn at the moment.
Yeah, Ron does have 2 creatures in hand, it looks like.
We're gonna run out this Serum Visionary so that we can draw at least 1 more card, maybe hit the planes. We did not.
Looks like probably mobile or put both to the bottom.
Both
Yep.
go to bottom.
Alright, we finally played the Barbarian Pit.
I think we have Threshold on at the moment.
I do not believe so. I think that you only have 2 cards in graveyard at the moment. Should just be the Looter and the Goblin at the moment.
You are correct. As well as the bug.
Oh yes, 3 cards. 3 cards in grave.
Right.
Ron appears to have drawn the Slime for a turn, the Adapting Slime. Alright, adapts the Gargantuan. We got a 6/6. Draws 2, loses 2. Refill the hand. So yeah, 5 cards versus 2 cards. Ron having the, I would say, better board state at the moment. Alright, 4/4 Vigilance. Whenever an or a modified creature you control dies, you manifest the top card of your library. So this is just with the Gargantuan, with the Adapt Slime that we know is in his hand, the Bestow creature that we know is in his hand, that's going to be really awkward for you to be able to kill any of his creatures at this point.
Swing for 6.
I would honestly just take this 6 here, I think. You don't have any good blocks, and I wouldn't really want to just give up any creatures on the board at the moment. Like, if you're going to chump with anything, maybe the Ral or the Serum Visionary, but yeah, you can take 6. Draws the planes. I don't know how relevant it's going to be. Startled Awake doesn't do much in this scenario. We get the Looter back, it looks like.
At least one of us did.
It also does have a trigger on Ral, so this might let us flip our Ral.
I think we do flip the Rel, and then it just dies immediately.
Yeah, Ral on 3 loyalty counters doesn't do much.
What am I doing? This guy.
Yes. Yes.
So evens is heads, odds is tails.
Alright, looks like heads.
Heads. I won the flip, so I'm gonna exile this guy.
Alright, Ral is going to flip. Coming in with 3 loyalty counters. +1, probably letting us just cast spells for cheaper this turn to put more loyalty on, I'd imagine.
And then I'm going to pay any
Yep.
amount of energy equal to this card's mana value if I do return to the graveyard. From the graveyard to the battlefield. So
Alright, use 2 energy to make 2 energy.
2 more energy. So it's just
Board neutral. Looter, it's not bad. Let's just get rid of anything we have in our hand. It looks like... I don't know what that is in your hand, actually.
it's the taker, the act of betrayal dude that has exploit.
Oh, okay.
3.
Say, yeah, Ral should be at 3.
He has additional loyal captive for each instant and sorcery spell I've cast this turn, so he starts with 3. And
I don't... What is Ral's minus? Ral minus 2 is...
Dude that makes snakes.
Okay.
Oh, it's Electrolyze. So you... Oh, so we take care of the Electromancer, or the Ophiomancer, and draw a card. Yep, seems good. So we do have an additional blue permanent letting us draw a card off the rail. Alright, 4 mana.
The Infernal Captor.
Infernal Cap.
Exploit. I will go ahead and sacrifice this guy. And then since I exploited a creature, gain control of target artifact of a creature until end of turn. Untap that permanent, gains haste until end of turn.
Alright.
6/6, if you will.
So we're gonna borrow Ron's Gargantua here. Attack him with it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's We get in there, but it doesn't look like it's going to help us very much.
Honestly, you could have sacked the golem at some point too. You did have a prowess trigger that turn, so you could have sacked the golem. Dealt 3 to Ron. He'd be looking at 7 life right now, which is, I guess, something. But he just has a hand of looks like
Value.
entirely gas against your 1 card in hand. And a Ral on 1 is significantly worse than a Ral on 3.
Yeah, this Rallon 1 is just going to implode this turn.
That's fine. He's done his job. Bestows. Both these creatures are now modified, so when either of them dies, he is going to be manifesting the top card of his library. So much redundancy.
Combat.
Sure.
You could double block with the Looter and the Golem to kill the Gargantua if you wanted.
Mentor trigger? Oh, you put the capture.
Yeah, I can't put it on this one.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, that's the Mentor triggers on the snake. Yes, okay. So the snake's at 2/2 death touch. All the creatures are actually modified now. Oh, you don't need to triple
They're all
block.
going at Rall though. Yeah, Rall's dead. We don't block at all.
Girls just fucking.
Yeah, I mean, all the trades feel bad here.
Expanding.
Yeah, they really feel bad because this ooze is going to beef all modified creatures once per turn.
Ron has 2 6/6s, one of them with Mentor. Best bet is to find a way to bump up this golem the best you can.
Reckless Pyro Surfer. Haste, and whenever a land enters battlefield, I control, she gets battle cry until end of turn.
The Battlecry landfall creature.
Lands to play.
That could be like a fetch land, plus that could let you get 4 damage in with that golem, sack the golem. You have plenty of energy. 2 mana.
Dog umbering the Mentor, dude.
Okay. That might let us actually attack this turn if we want to. Prowess trigger as well. Drawing and then discarding a card.
I have to discard it off.
Oh.
Now we are closer to the threshold.
Yeah. Oh, that's why we were doing that. Okay, that makes some sort of sense. I thought we were just getting rid of the top card of our library for fun. Golem being a 3/3, I would probably get in with the Golem as well. Looks like we might have forgotten about the prowess trigger.
No blocks.
Understood. Pass. definitely forgot about it because I would have put him at 1. And then we just
Yeah, I
could've
would have put him
gotten there
at
with the
1 or
Barbarian
forced
Ring.
him to block with his ooze. And then the golem dying at any point would be a lethal amount of damage. I'd imagine we're probably adapting this ooze here, plus looks like we have another bestow mentor unicorn in hand.
We sure do.
So we're bestowing onto the ooze.
So we don't even need to modify it at this point. It is already modified.
Shannon says she's leaving now.
Yeah, and whenever that ooze attacks, it puts a 1/1 counter on a target modified creature you control, which is Ron's entire board, so when it attacks, it just gets to choose a creature and put a counter on it. Can also pay 2 to adapt it for 1 at any point.
Modify and put a counter here.
Yeah, puts a counter on the Gargantuan. He can choose to draw 2 and lose 2 if he wants.
Trigger.
He takes it.
Does, down to 5. Draws a Sorin.
Just like that.
I just had gas out the gate this game.
Sure, I'll take E. Like 10.
How much is this coming in? 7, 10.
Yep, just 10.
Just 10, he says.
I think it's more than that.
Main.
The snake's a 3/3.
It is
Gargantuan's
way
a
more than 10.
7/7.
What the fuck?
And that should have been lethal.
The Gargantuan didn't attack.
Oh, the Gargantuan did not attack. You're correct. Okay. Never mind.
That ooze is really big, though.
In that case,
We now have
isn't it
threshold, though.
7?
Let's combat.
I thought that ooze was a 4/4. Alright, big attack for Gabe.
And here comes the play of the game with this Warp Tusker cycling.
Oh, cycles makes an Eldrazi blocker.
Makes a dude. Saves him from death.
Yep, so now we can block the golem. Do we have a
Okay.
Battlecry trigger? Did we play a land? 2 blockers, we're going to be able to block the 3/3.
We did not get a Battlecry trigger.
Okay.
That is Warp
So he's going to be able to block the
Cast a
3/3,
cycle,
and
create a
the
0/1
Scion can block the golem, takes 4 down to 1, and then...
Passive. I was like, you know what?
I'm actually gonna go ahead and blow him up.
Down to 1. We missed that line. We would have had this game, but we missed it.
I said probably could have sacked the Barbarian Ring.
Block the 3/3.
Should still be dead on board.
Yeah, because I'm 1 short.
Yep.
That hurts. You get me on swing back.
All right, yeah, good game.
He wins it because I missed the line.
Wait,
I did have to.
do we not just attack for 6 when he's at 5?
We blew up the dude after declaring blocks, and we didn't hit him.
Oh, after declaring blocks. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because we have no interaction until he declares blockers. Which, I missed the line on that one. That's on me.
I mean, you could have blown up the sign before the blocker was declared.
Makes this better.
Was option 2.
Ish.
Looks like I would probably mulligan your hand. Looks like only red mana,
I definitely think we do mulligan
only
it.
1 playable card in hand.
But we do have that fetch. Oh,
No,
we
no,
have
looks
already
like this is
mulliganed.
already a mull to 6, keeping with 2 mountains.
We can go get an island with that seething landscape, though.
Okay,
Yo.
gets in with the Gabo.
So we definitely have the whale on turn 3. The 7/5 whale that just dies. 2 turns.
Another landscape. Okay, our mana's actually fine.
Yeah, our mana is looking pretty at the moment.
Crack it for a blue.
Yeah, we're gonna go get that island, like I said.
Gross.
Is already gonna play this vampire?
Lifelinker again, not what the goblin, the hasty goblin wants to see, but I think our whale is gonna be able to block it just fine.
Yeah, this whale is just gonna sit on board, but Ron will not care about this whale coming down.
It doesn't look like you really have any way to cast multiple spells in a turn at this point, so
We
the whale
don't.
is probably dying to its vanish.
Sure does.
No blocks.
Okay.
No blocks, he says. We play planes for turn straight into the whale.
I mean,
Straight into the whale.
trying to get in with a 7/5 is something, at least. Is that an Aether Revolt in your hand?
Sure is.
Nice.
It does die in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Sure is an Aether Revolt.
That's not. Got 2 managing counters.
Aether Revolt with no energy produced at the moment is gonna kind of hurt towards late game.
I know playing creature. Oh, 2 spells. Okay.
Yeah, so Ron's just gonna start playing 1 spell a turn.
He doesn't have to do that for long. He only has to do it for 2 turns.
Sure does.
Daps, swings Menace for 3.
Yep.
Switch to life totals.
Pass turn.
I mean, Ron is definitely eating 8 here.
Upkeep. Draw.
Barbarian Ring, or hit.
Sad. Once you cast 2 spells next turn, that thing's gone.
Run out the Aether Revolt. Doesn't look like anything else is going on in hand.
That is true.
Most.
Notably, the Goblin is online, so we can just... Oh boy. I'm gonna say attack first, please.
All right.
8.
Alright, now it looks like we're paying 4 to kill the lifelinker.
Pass.
This whale dies at my next upkeep, so this is...
Does my whale stay?
Ron's just gonna play that ooze and pass, it looks like.
Just one.
That's exactly what he does. Ooze out.
And go.
And the whale is gone. Yep.
We are done having a whale of a time, if you believe it.
Vanishing trigger, whale gone. Draws a wing up for turn.
Even
Not
better,
great with no
yes.
creatures in hand. Probably play a fetch land to try and thin the deck a little bit would be nice.
No, this game is over.
We need to have some action
This Aether
for this Aether Revolts.
fetch for white.
So Aether Revolts, whenever you gain an amount of energy, you may deal that much damage to target player. Yes, to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls. Okay, so it's permanent or essentially any target.
I should have waited to crack
And then whenever you gain, or whenever you have Revolt, it deals that much damage plus 2.
And Revolt is a permanent leaving my field, correct?
Yeah, so if a permanent you control would leave the battlefield in any sense, that would trigger Revolt. So cracking a fetch land, creature dying, something bouncing to your hand, all triggers Revolt.
Sure. Just 5?
Let's see. Put a 1/1 counter on target.
Ron sees it, because I mentioned it,
say
so
it
we're going
should-
down 6.
It's not
I'm
made.
gonna say it does put a counter on itself, so it can no longer adapt.
Sure does.
6 instead. Pass turn.
Or you wish it wasn't mine?
So I can adapt it later. And then just whenever I play my other creature,
Another Goblin.
stuff from
The ooze is out of range of, unfortunately.
Sure.
And even if we killed the ooze, we still have that unicorn to worry about, which definitely hurts.
Yeah.
That's the wrong card. We show our opponents our cards before we play
Nice.
them.
Yeah, showing our opponent our combat trick's not great.
Bonk.
But this Goblin is a removal spell for hopefully Ron's next creature.
Pass.
I think this goblin's gonna breathe his last, though.
Yeah.
The goblin.
Yeah, it's only 4 damage to target creature, so he can't throw the Goblin at Ron either.
7.
7.
7 coming into face.
Yeah, and we are dying to the next ooze attack, so this Goblin has to stick around.
I think we see how bad our hand is. Never
is he
mind.
dead? I think he's dead. I'm gonna say with the Revolt trigger from exploiting a creature.
I want to say he has another Warp Tusker in hand, though, so we're just gonna die to the same combat trick that happened last game.
Hey, how does this work?
Infernal Captor.
Yeah, so this lets us sack the Goblin, or we should probably be sacking the
So
the
let's...
Tusker itself to steal the ooze
Yeah, why not?
and attack for lethal.
What's gonna happen is he's gonna breathe my last goblin, and now I have to either sacrifice the captor or not take the trigger.
Yeah, so let's see. Ron goes up to 12. Ooze is gonna be an 8/8. 10/10. Yeah, so you'd be 1. No, you have lethal if you sack and steal and use your wing up.
Now it comes into play.
So that would be the ooze is gonna attack. It's currently a 7/7. It would attack up to an 8/8 with the wing up in hand.
It
Gets
says you may sacrifice.
gets up to the
Yeah, but it doesn't have
makes
to
it a
be in
flyer,
order.
and then with the
It can
revolt
sacrifice
trigger
itself.
from your Aether
Sure
Revolt,
does,
that would
but
be
do I
lethal
wonder
damage.
7/7
Exactly.
It just kills me on the swing back.
Huh? The revolt trigger for Aether Revolt, as long as you or a permanent you control left the battlefield turn, if a source you control would deal it's non-combat damage. Ah, I'm wrong.
We are still screwed.
Yeah, you are in fact exactly 2 damage short, including the wing up in your hand.
If we had a mountain, though, we could get there with the barbarian ring.
Yeah, I
Because
don't.
that is non-combat damage with revolt online.
So we've done a couple fetch lands. We might have threshold at this point.
Wasn't hand, though.
What?
Alright, dead to a removal spell. What the?
Here it
Okay,
is.
so here's a 5/8 with
So I was
reach.
like, I could let him swing, chop, block.
And then, yep, getting in for 8s, chump block.
It's the only mono creature has right now.
Yeah, that is true.
You got a Wrath in your deck? You got a Wrath of Skies?
I do not have a Wrath of Skies, and we have no energy to really help with it.
Ral, not great here. Ral on a combat trick. Yeah, that's game.
Wrong time!
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it. I'm gonna play him.
Try and flip him, I guess.
We are definitely going to try.
Actually, you know what? Can I kill myself?
Can you kill yourself? It's sad, me. Sad.
We are going to attempt to kill
I
ourselves.
sure can't kill myself. This turn. Okay. I'm going to get.
You're damage short.
Not with the revolt,
Evens his heads, odds his
Oh,
tails.
you're right.
Evens his heads.
because now he's left.
I see. I've
Now
seen
we
the line.
revolt.
I've
We
seen
have
the
killed
line.
ourselves with our own barbarian ring.
How you doing today?
Great. The long way around to concede.
What am I doing?
Oh,
I don't. This is gonna.
Yeah, electrolyze yourself.
Guy?
stuff, yes.
Just gonna go to 3. I'm gonna scry 1.
Yep.
Notably, that wing up actually fizzles.
Revolt. Hit myself for 4.
But yeah, anyways.
You can't kill me if I kill myself.
Ron takes it 2-0.
Didn't even get the pleasure of it.
No. It's mine. The kill is mine.
Alright, next is Michael Peditto versus myself. Michael Peditto on a deck known as Moist Green, I guess. And I am running a Dimir Draw 3 sack deck. I do remember this one. I liked this deck a lot.
And this is the one with the not Chthonian Nightmare. It's the ones with the mindless conscription.
I do not believe so. I believe that was a draft. This one is mostly just trying to get value out of sneaky snackers. The 2/1 flyer for 2 in Dimir. That when you draw 3 cards, you return it from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Makes sense.
It looks like Michael Peditto is keeping his 7. I'm mulliganing it down to 6.
None of them like Blue Red Storm was like super popular.
It was when they hadn't been reprinted since Shadowmoor. They're $1 change.
Yeah, that like everything that I
Price
own.
$2 for all different versions.
So I'm trying this.
So I should be keeping this. I see Kozilek's Unsealing, some big Eldrazi spells in hand.
Shadowmoor
Island Fest.
Okay. Shadowmoor moderate play is $2. Everything below $2 is damaged.
Plays one of the new MDFCs. That one, I believe,
It's the Bridgeworks battles, correct?
yeah, it's the fight spell +2/+2 fight. Malevolent Rumble. Look
Oh.
at the top 4. Put a permanent into your hand and create an Eldrazi Scion. Michael Peditto grabs the commander card that lets
Ululek?
Ululek, letting him
Copy.
duplicate his colorless spells for 2 additional mana and colorless triggers.
Motherfucker, but
It's all of them currently on the stack when that trigger goes off, correct?
Yes, yeah.
that doesn't exist.
I cycle a Ravager. I believe I was notably looking for a land drop when I did that. Ravager lets me sack 2 Eldrazi and return it to the battlefield. It's just a recurring 6/6 Annihilator 1.
I gotta throw.
A playset
That's the Snapping Turtle, so Peditto gets able to tap for 2 additional mana each turn. Plus this Scion, we can play up to a 7-drop this turn.
Dreadmaw.
Yeah,
So it's a Dread
plays
Mask.
a problem.
I mean, you got a bunch of blue. I don't know how many counter spells are in this set, but I know there's at least one. Two.
Alright. Another country heard from. Black mana available.
Meddler, trigger, tap.
Put a stun counter on the germ, and we're gonna create 2 scions.
I'm assuming those 2 scions are going to bring back that dude in the grave.
At some point, that's a reasonable assumption.
Same landscape.
How close is... So Peditto could play the... Yep, Ulalek is here. I remember being surprised about just how easy it is to cast this thing.
No Eldrazi, I can play 2 colorless mana, 2 copy it.
Because it's hybrid mana of each of the colors or colorless for each of the hybrid manas.
Just a really dumb card to see in a sealed draft, or even a pre-release.
Alright, gains 3, kills my Eldrazi.
Makes a dude.
I'm gonna say I sack 2 creatures to return the Ravager to my hand. So he does not gain his 3 life.
A nice fizzle.
When I cycled it.
Yeah.
You gain 3 life. I still gain 3 life?
Oh. Oh, yes. This fight spell in particular, Judge is correcting us right now, chooses 2 targets, and as long as 1 target is able, or is still legal, the spell will still resolve, resulting in Peditto gaining 3 life regardless of my creature being there or not. 6 mana, I might just be running out this Ravager here. Also, I have a Kozilek's command in hand, which I could cast. But I'll make 2 more Scions and pass with my 6/6 Annihilator.
So I don't know what that actually means, other than she's on her way. Knowing Shannon, it means no.
This Dread Mask could be just going on any of his creatures here. Like I'm horrified of just putting it on Ulalek and getting in for like 10 trampling damage would be horrible for me. Runs out Eladrami instead. So is able to just play off the top card of his deck as long as it's a creature. And it was able to cheat creatures into play by tapping Eladrami and 2 other creatures? 1 other creature? Let's double check. Yeah, so tap 2 untapped creatures for paying a green and tapping Eladrami to be able to put a creature from the top card of your library or into your hand onto the battlefield only during your turn. So no surprise blockers coming out of Eladrami at least. Annihilator 1, goodbye Scion. Trades with the Germ. I think I'm okay with that. I can just keep sacking 2 and replaying Ravager. With Kozilek's Unsealing in play, this is just going to always generate 2 Scions, which lets me always buy back the Ravager. Getting to make a Scion and drawing 3 cards, though, is really bad for me on my end step. Plus this Eladrami is in play, so any creatures at the top of the library are free cards for the turn.
Hope so. He's trying his best.
Not sure what I'm going to try and do with this Kozilek's command. The Dread Mask is the biggest problem, so whatever the Dread Mask gets equipped to, I'd imagine is what we're killing.
Looks like we're running out another creature real quick.
3 mana.
Looks like a Propagator Drone.
Propagator Drone should be 2 mana. I'm not sure what he's got for 3. Looks like
Another
another
turtle.
Yeah. And he's tapping to make a copy of the turtle as well.
So he's got he got 4 mana for the price of 5.
Yeah. Infinite turtles, infinite mana, essentially. I just need to get some sort of evasive creature to get over this board, which I do have a Pteramander in hand. The adapting 5/5 flyer for 1 mana.
I'm gonna tap this
But
guy.
adapting does cost 8 at the moment. We're putting a creature from hand into play.
You're tapping something that has summoning sickness.
That's fine. He's not using it for
Oh,
mana,
right,
he's using it
you're
off Elodrami's ability.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So all of his modified creatures now having trample, which doesn't matter too much because the mask itself
Gives trample.
already gives trample, and that's the only way you can modify outside of adapting this slime. Which he could adapt by sacking his Scion as well if he wants, which I think I'm waiting for so I can try and kill it in response. With the K command in my hand.
Makes sense.
3 mana. Oh, this might just be a removal spell. Yeah, double black. I'd imagine I'm murdering something.
Yeah, it's going to breathe its last. Gain 5 life off the
Yeah.
Ululek.
No, Ululek is devoid, so it does
Oh,
not
you're
gain
right.
any
No
life,
life.
unfortunately. But yeah,
That does feel bad.
I am just spending a murder to kill an Ululek, which is fine.
Yeah, explode. Combat. Yeah, let's go.
Annihilator trigger, sacks the Scion. And Peditto takes 6, down to 17. Don't have any black mana to be able to play this Pteramander. I'm definitely really hoping he tries to equip his Dread Mask to the Boggart slime, or the Bushwag slime, so I can exile it in response.
All the mana in the world.
And then scry a bunch and draw a card. This is the hope, anyways.
Because I landfall twice. Because I played this land, landfall triggered, sack it, fetch, another one came in, so I got
It's right around the same time that you could throw the breach creature.
There's also around the same time arc set.
Those were the
Those
days.
two things were in the format at the same time, and they were both.
5 mana, playing...
They used to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, sure.
And cast this guy. Double kicked.
Oh, that's horrible for me.
Exile that. That was
Ooh. So bouncing the Ravager to my hand and exiling my Unsealing, not great. I could have K-commanded in response to be able to make 2 Scions for casting a big colorless spell, but I chose otherwise. I think I notably could have done it to draw 3, which might have been smart. Alright, goes to put the Dread Mask on. I am going to tell it to explode
Explode, make 5.
and make 5 Scions. So it looks like the modes are exile target creature, CMC 5 or less, and make 5 Eldrazi Scions. Alright, goes through. Slime is gone. The Scions return in greater numbers.
They tend to do that.
Next turn, I can notably replay the Ravager and play the Pteramander, which is the best way I can think of to get damage in on Peditto at this point. His board state's just, he's got so many reasonably static creatures plus that Dread Mask.
That was me last night. I left here at like 3. I got home around 4. I watched TV and.
Alright, plays
Eternal Witness.
yeah, the Evolving Witness, notably. So adapt, return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. I would imagine he's looking at the Ululek in his graveyard. Alright, 6 mana. Here's the Ravager.
Zach, it's exactly.
And the Pteramander is finally here.
We did it.
Our soon-to-be 5/5 flyer, notably against our opponent with no reach in play. Ravager probably sitting back on blocker duty at this point. Although blocking anything that has that dread mask on it feels bad. Also, Peditto having the option to draw 2 extra cards a turn with all his snapping turtles that are able to have 1 tap for 2 mana, and then tap the other 2 to draw 2 cards, in conjunction with Eladrami, to be able to look at the top card of the library. If he doesn't like it, draw it, play the next top card of the library, and just keep going like that. Ulalek is back. Off adapting the Evolving Witness and then returning it to hand and then casting it again by tapping a Snapping Turtle and some other colorless mana.
Drone?
Propagator drone out.
Yep, so all of his creature tokens have
And we're copying it.
evolve.
So now we have 2 propagator drones.
Notably, the copies are tokens,
They sure are.
so they should have evolve. I think they have evolved twice, actually. It's a giant board of Eldrazi's. My Annihilator one doesn't feel great with all the easy to sack creatures he has.
He's laying down right behind.
Alright, we're adapting, sacking some Scions to adapt our Pteramander, making it a 5/5 flyer that can only block creatures with flying, so that thing serves no purpose other than attacking. Gets in for 11, Annihilator 1.
Trigger first.
Sacks the second, the token drone.
He said the word. That is there.
He has a trample.
And jump blocks the Ravager, maybe? He's thinking about it.
Make a 4/4 do that.
We'll double block there. Take 5.
Alright, double blocks, Ravager dies, the Eldrazi and the Witness also dying, and then plays a sneaky snacker. So I do have a 2-turn clock flying on the board against this Dread Mask, which is going to make anything into a very, very big problem for me. No mana up. Notably has not been able to play a single card off this Eladrami this entire game. Rather unlucky.
And the other one in hand doing absolutely nothing because of the legend rule kind of also hurts at the moment.
Yeah. Let's see, we drawing a card off of Snapping Turtle.
Seems like the most likely line at the moment.
2 mana, 4 mana. Oh, looks like we're moving the Dread Mask.
We are indeed.
Make our Evolving Drone into a 8/8 Trampler that is also able to adapt. Or no, not adapt. This one can only pay 4 to make a Scion. So yeah, I take 8 down to 12. 12 all. Alright, draws off a Snapping Turtle. So drew a Forest. Fetches, just keep trying to change the top card of the library. Hopefully get a creature to the top. Only 3 mana available from Peditto though. Only 1 green as well. Desperately looking for something to get rid of the 2 flyers. Oh yes, could activate Eladrami, and he does. Since nothing can block anyway, may as well have everything be tapped. Plays a flyer off the top card of the library. 2/1 flying. Whenever you draw your second card for the turn, make a 1/1 or a 0/1 Scion.
Deal 2.
classic Soren's Thirst.
How about Schneppen?
Down to 5. Flush Trigger, whenever I cast a colorless spell, I'm going to make a Scion, and whenever a colorless creature enters the battlefield under my control, deal 1 damage to each opponent. So, with Peditto at 5, Flesh Raker is a problem. A lot of open mana, probably activating some Snapping Turtles to get the top card of the library to be a relevant creature. Draws a card. Top card looks like Kozilek's Unsealing, I think. Notably not a creature.
Planar Genesis, it looks like.
A good card. Growth Spiral plus Impulse.
Don't think Peditto's looking for a land at the moment. He's just trying to get any sort of creature out of here. And it looks like we whiff? Oh, we hit something that we can get.
7/7 Vigilant is notably not have reach, so. Also has a Emerald Medallion in hand. Not doing much at this point. Little late for the medallion. Three, 1 mana, 3 mana, cycles, makes a Scion. Shifting Woodland on top. Once again, not a creature, and
Yeah,
scoops
it up.
The Flyers get there.
This problem board that Alex presented that was just not being able to deal with off the flooded land draws.
Yeah, a lot of lands for Peditto. Not a lot of interaction for the Flyers.
And almost no value out of the 2 Eldomries.
Yeah, played, I think, a single card off the top of the library the first game. Looks like I'm keeping 7. Peditto, I think, is resolving a mulligan at the moment. Yep, 1 to the bottom.
Dread Mask is back in hand.
Yeah, with those turtles being able to play that Dread Mask really early is just so scary.
Here's a medallion making it even cheaper.
Yep. Mask costing 4 now.
I mean, I have a shit like I'm a solid green.
Finally get to an island. If we play the turtle now, we have Mask next turn.
We have Mask next turn regardless with this.
Level at Rumble.
Yep.
There's a turtle.
Takes the Kozilek's Unsealing. Ululek to the grave. Should have a Scion in play, and yeah, we should have a Scion in play. Notably, both those spells discounted by the Emerald Medallion, making Malevolent Rumble cost 1 green. Seems good. Looks like both players forgetting about the Scion.
Matters a little bit because of the 1 mana it gets the mask out, doesn't it?
Yeah, the 1 mana here would be relevant, especially since it looks like Peditto might be missing a land drop here. Fanatic of Ronus is going to make the mana a lot less of an issue. That can produce 4 mana very quickly. Passes a turn, no attack from this Evolving Witness. I had 3 open mana. I guess we're scared of some sort of flash creature. Goes to adapt. I'll kill it in response.
So we can't get that Ululek back.
More likely, can't get that forest back. Tito's stuck on a land drop. Here's the Dread Mask. Paying too much for it. Dreadmask costs 5, right? I'm not.
It
I'm not
costs
freaking.
6, doesn't it?
Oh, it costs 6.
Yeah, it's 4 colorless and 2 green, so it had to pay all of that.
Oh
for it.
yes, it is 6 mana. I see.
It is just a funky little Dreadmaw.
All right. 3 mana. I'm going to. What are we doing here?
Debating on what to kill, it looks like.
Frozen in Time. Fanatic of Rona's next turn being able to tap for 4 mana would be horrifying. Kozilek's Unsealing from me and pass. Alright, so Peditto untapping with 8 available mana and a 6/6 Trampler is not ideal. Both players with a Kozilek's Unsealing. 15.
Gonna Basking Brute Scale into an Adapt. Yeah.
Yep.
Make a friend. Should have 2 friends at this point. Still missing the first one.
Yeah, that first one missed off the Rumble, I'd imagine is not coming.
Yeah, it's just in
Not
hell
coming.
where it belongs.
5 mana. I get to Sticky Tap. The Germ, make 2 Scions. Looks like the Ravager in hand, K-Command in hand. Kozilek's Unsealing, notably any colorless spell being able to trigger it is really strong. So it doesn't matter, I mean, as long as it's 4, 5, or 6 mana, it makes 2 Scions. At 7 plus mana, it draws 3 cards. And I believe you sack the Unsealing. Yep, so it casts a 7-drop. Oh no, it doesn't look like you sack the Unsealing. It looks like you just draw 3 cards. Yeah, cast a 7-drop, draws 3 cards. Fanatic of Ronas being able to tap for just so much mana is so bad for me. 7/7 Vigilant is a problem.
So ever since those 2 things happened, I just look at liquids and I go, I know you're probably safe. I'm gonna check you.
K-Command, I need quite a bit more mana before I can K-Command a 7-drop away. Here's the Ravager, back up to 3 Scions. Impulse or play a land. Looks like we're going to choose to play a land.
I think Peditto's thinking about drawing 3 here.
5 mana. We're moving the mask onto. Alright, so we're just going to say 13/13 Trample Vigilance. Seems good. Yeah, down to 2. Ouch. I have not a lot going on here. Is that a removal spell? Counting mana, trying to see if I can get up to this K-Command to exile that 7-drop, but boy can I not do that. I could notably make a ton of Scions and chump block, but that seems bad. Sack Scion, drew 2 cards. Still looking for that removal spell.
Yeah, and missing way out. We scoop it up.
Yeah, game 2 going to Peditto.
That 13/13 Vigilance did seem good.
That was really fast too for a creature that size in a limited format.
I think the only thing I have left is the Null Drifters.
K commands. It's within the price range. I would
Looks like both players keep 7.
This transmogrant about to get in there.
Very aggressive.
I think Peditto plays a dork next turn to start getting some mana ramp in. Dork down.
Yeah, the 0-4 dork has arrived. If we're drawing 2, we should be attacking first. Looks like I am bad at this game and I don't see that line.
Happens to the best.
Missing a point of damage, unfortunate. Terramander's here though.
Terramander is here.
No, this is the Pteramander. This one returns himself from the graveyard for 4 mana.
Okay.
Notably, the Mogren can come back next turn, although don't know if that's the line that's going to happen.
Yeah, 3-3 looking at the 0-4 kind of feels bad.
Sure does.
But I don't know what I've got going on in hand. I might just be looking at this transmogrant. Into Eladrami.
Eladrami is here once again.
Eladrami, a well-statted 3-3 for 3. Means if I want to get in with this vampire, I have to adapt. Or just kill Eladrami. I could do that too.
Eladrami's breathing his last at the moment.
Get in for 3. Up to 25.
Yeah, I'm shifting with them.
One card type in the yard for that Shifting Woodlands. Shifting Woodlands has just been an all-star in Modern so far. I've seen Titan taking ridiculous advantage out of that card. Makes any control matchup really easy. Makes Counterspell feel really bad. Interacting very fun with the One Ring too, so it keeps the burden counters on it, so you can just keep drawing more and more cards every end step. It's really funny.
Oh, without even taking the damage. Yeah, that does count.
Yeah, take no damage, draw 1, draw 2, draw 3.
Fire now.
Just this flash.
Alright, looks like we're probably returning the Transmogrant on the great end step here.
Unless something needs removed, I would assume.
The Kozilek's Unsealing came in. I didn't see that the first time.
I think we were discussing how good the Shifting Woodlands is.
Yes.
I'll deal 3.
Yeah, there's the removal spell.
Yep, goes to adapt. Notably tapped both of his green sources, so he couldn't try to adapt again.
You can actually do that second.
He does say that.
It's kind of rude.
Runs out the flyer.
Something to...
Block the Terramander. That can be a 5/5 this turn.
Adapting costs 8 and is discounted by...
Costs 7, doesn't it?
I believe it's 8.
I think it's 7, and it's discounted by every other artifact you have on field.
Yeah, it is 7. 7 total, 1 black, so if I have 6 artifacts, it costs 1 black to adapt.
Okay, so we can't adapt until next turn.
So I attack, just gain my 2 life on the chump block. I also play a 0-4 of my own.
So now these 0-4s are just staring at each other, waiting to produce mana. Rumbles.
Rumbles for 1 mana, finds the second Eladrami. Grab an Eladrami or a Snapping Turtle. Goes with the land. Okay.
Both Eladramis in the grave.
3 card types in the yard for Shifting Woodland. Still no Delirium.
Delirium's at 4, correct?
Yes, 4 different card types.
Ululek. That does not sound fun.
2 Scions.
Almost paid for itself.
Yeah, actually.
I have 3 times.
Here's our 3/3 from the graveyard.
The Migrant.
So about that fear hole.
This is adapting our...
That is what looks like happening.
Yeah, adapts our Pteramander. Discounted by 1 from the Transmogrants.
Swing 5. Chumps with the flyer on Peditto's side.
That Vampire notably done a lot of work. 32 life is quite a bit. Got to attack and live for 6 attacks.
Oh, I'm gonna die to big dumb flyer.
Peditto looking a bit flooded at the moment, only drawing lands. And we still don't have Delirium to get those Eldrami triggers.
Just getting in for 5. Peditto with no cards in hand. I don't really have any reason to do anything else.
You're sacking the Transmogrant just to bring him back.
Just to. Kozilek's coming in hand, so that's probably why I'm just not paying any mana, so I can exile a 4-drop. And then scry 4, draw, or make scions. Or exile cards from the graveyard, actually. So if the Shifting Woodland ever tries to do anything, I could exile cards from the graveyard in response.
Urza's Incubator's probably going to the graveyard and powering up... Oh, that's a Dreadmass, never mind. This Dreadmass is probably going to the graveyard to power up the Shifting Woodlands.
I believe Planar Genesis is an instant, so this should be Delirium now.
Regardless. Good point. It sure is an instant. He did play it on your end step at one point.
Yes. Yeah, Planar Genesis is an instant, so I believe we have 4 card types in the yard now. Grabs Evolving Witness, able to get back the flyer, get back Eladrami.
Puts him to the bottom. All those cards should be engraved, correct? Because that's...
No, that was the Planar Genesis.
Oh, that was the
not
Planar
not the Rumble.
Genesis. Right, my bad.
Yeah. Should be discounted by 1. I think I remind him of that. So yeah, we should have 1 more untapped land here. Yeah.
It's a green spell.
Yeah, untaps the land. There we go.
So now we have access to 4 mana.
So now we can...
Adapt?
Stop responding to my shit!
This Evolving Witness is gone.
Fucking damn it, guys.
Peditto getting a little bit tilted.
I have
Stop with all the removal.
so much removal. Is Demir.
So much draw as well.
How many fucking removal spells are in your
A
graveyard?
lot.
3 or 4?
A lot, Peditto.
Peditto yelling at me.
I think this
That would have been so cool.
Yeah, Alex.
Hi. I do like the removal. I'm a fan of it, actually.
3 mana. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So plays a Scion.
colorless spell trigger that.
Yeah, it's gonna make a total of 2 Scions, ping twice, draws 3. One off lethal here, unfortunate. I have to cast a colorless spell for Peditto to die, which if I believe I was paying attention to the scries. I believe there's a Eldrazi Ravager on the top card of my library.
Are we just gonna flip it over next turn and say game? Peditto attempting to draw 3.
I'd like to drop my first.
Yes, makes 3 scions. Should be making more scions from Kozilek's Unsealing.
Misses the trigger.
Please get to those outs.
Is it relevant? 2 lands in hand and a spell that we can already cast, so it doesn't seem...
I think it would have been relevant if he got the trigger on the stack and then copied it with the Ulalek and made 4 dudes. Because then we'd be spending mana to make mana.
Yeah.
I think that missed trigger is going to be the end of this game right here.
So it notably has to have an answer for both the Flyer and the Flesh Raker.
I gotta do the thing.
He does in hand.
Yep, and then when he
This bounce exile dude.
Did I do that? Oh, no, because I get blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Cast the battle.
Here he comes.
Yes.
We're gonna copy.
Alright.
We're going to copy him.
So, exile.
Exile the Flesh Raker as well.
It should be bounce the Flesh Raker, because it's exile a...
And then exile. And
Yeah, it's exile an artifact or enchantment, and then return target creature to its owner's hand. So bounces the Vampire and the Flesh Raker, exiles the Pteramander.
Pteramander targeted twice for the exile, correct?
Yeah, just because one... Copying the kicked spell has to have a legal target. So I need colorless spell plus Flesh Raker here, which I have. Yeah, 3 mana,
Flesh Raker.
Flesh Raker, 6
And
mana.
6 total mana. Here
kill
it
you.
comes. That's game. Total of 2 damage getting in for game.
way too much fucking removal. Yeah, I have 2 of those.
Yeah, removal, good in the limited format. Round 3, it's going to be Ron versus myself again.
be on the play, my dude.
That Abzan Bestow modified deck that Ron had, notably rocking the Sorin. Sorin's been showing up a lot in Modern as well. A lot of Mardu, mid-rangey lists rocking the Flip Planeswalkers, Johnny and Sorin. All 5 Flip Planeswalkers made somewhat of an appearance in Modern so far, Grist being the one that's shown up the least. Has the Necropolis on turn 1 again, so the reanimation effect.
Good.
This quest is probably just going to sit here like it did during the round 1 game.
So landfall trigger should be up to 1 counter. Fetch land, put it up to 2.
I think we're just going to put it up to 2. Yeah, we're going to pass the turn with 2 quest counters on the quest from the Necropolis, and that's going to be all we do. Red out the Vampire to get some lifelink damage in.
See an ooze in hand, we might just be running out the modified creature right away. Up to 3 counters on Necropolis. Is probably playing the card that he's more okay with getting removed first. Nope, just runs out the ooze.
Ooze is out.
I deemed that guy inferior.
I've deemed him inferior.
Second from the top or second from the bottom.
This Ooze is probably going second from the top.
Nope, ooze is on the bottom of the library.
Really?
Gone for good.
Bold choice by Ron.
Second from the top or on the bottom?
Yeah, so the ooze on the bottom of the library.
That's very
Relevant.
Because it matters.
I think he's.
See removal, 2 removal spells in hand for Ron, as well as the regrowth effect from the Evolving Witness. Not a lot going on over there.
Another landfall trigger to put another quest counter. This quest counter is almost free.
So we're up to 5, or available at 5, yeah. Going up to 5.
This quest is now tap 1 black, return any creature.
Landfall stuff, man.
Seems good.
Seemed good.
But it's only still, he kind of
It just returns a thing from the graveyard, right?
it's a play, yeah.
Combat?
Yes.
Swinging in. I think, yeah, this Wither and Bloom.
They get a 3-day
Let's it go.
Margaret.
The Migrant.
Nice.
Soul Trader. Pretty good with the Migrant, so you can start making treasures.
Yep. Make treasures, notably turning Eldrazi's Scions into treasures that are able to tap for mana at any point is kind of nice.
Seems good.
And it's gone.
Gain 3 life, Mike.
Sure does, just... This exiles it, doesn't it?
It does. I'm gonna say I'd sack the Transmogrant, lose a life, make a treasure, and then Soul Warden is exiled. Cannot sack itself.
You gain 3 off that, though. This quest from the Necropolis just gaining way more counters than it needs.
Evolution, Witness, and Pass.
Just run out of Big Dumb Eldrazi. Yep. Tap the Witness. 4/5. Sneaky Reach.
Ron notably having 3 potential ways to get creatures out of the grave with no creatures in grave, so feels a little bad at the moment.
Gets a land from the graveyard. Trying to get double white for this angel making spell in hand. Decree of Justice, that's the one. So it can make, looks like 1 angel next turn if he wants. So it's 2 white, generic 2, and then XX makes X angels.
Ah, here's Terramander. Being a little nuisance like it always has been.
He's good.
Discounted by the treasure on field.
Terramander, just like its former self from the second Ravnica sets, or the third Ravnica sets, not seeing a lot of play, unfortunately.
I'm gonna go ahead and Wither and Bloom this Eternal Witness.
Exile.
Or no, the Gargoyle. Give it flying.
Yeah, it turns our Gargoyle into a flyer, a 3/3 flyer.
Notably blocked by the Terramander now.
Yeah, Terramander can't block the Witness, so it can get in for 4.
Sure does get in for 4.
Back down to 20.
Transmogrant is back.
So how much does it cost? It costs 5 to adapt this Terramander. We might just be seeing that right here. Just tap 5 mana, Terramander adapts.
Feels good.
Yep, adapts the Terramander. 5/5. Swings to the team. Trying to get it for 12.
Lock in the air, takes.
Yep.
And it's gonna persist back, so it's got a -1/-1 counter now. So still flying, it's just now a 1/2, correct?
It's a 1/1.
1/1.
Yeah, 1/1 flyer.
Just gets eaten by that Terramander next turn.
Alright, looks like we're gonna make some angels. 2 angels.
Just Decree of Justice. Just 2.
4/4 flying vigilance.
4/4 flyers.
Just 4/4 flyers. Okay.
Right, yeah, it's not as bad as what, yeah. I'm like,
Man, like, am I dead?
right?
What is happening?
Yeah.
Swinging in for 4. It looks like. Thinking about it. Decides not to.
So notably, I have a 4/5 with Sneaky Reach, so I'm not too scared of these angels, but I would like to be attacking. I need a removal spell to deal with an angel, so that my Terramander can't get eaten by a Gargoyle and an angel.
Plays out the Fleshraker.
3 mana.
Going in to kill with this Kozilix.
Yeah, makes a Scion. Pings for 2. Or is it only? It might only be creature. Let's double check that. Did I miss a point of damage? Yeah, colorless creature only. So Kozilek's Unsealing will make 2 Scions and produce 2 damage whenever I cast colorless spells at this point.
Soren's here though.
Right.
We're about to
Soren
extort some people.
right on curve.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, produces
Friend, you take 1.
4 total Scions? Or no. Yeah, 4. Should have been 4 Scions. Looks like we missed the Fleshraker trigger.
We have drawn 2 cards per
Yeah,
turn, so
so
this is just gonna drain 2, and then we swing in with the team.
Yeah, free activation. And the notable 1 Scion we've passes.
Pass the turn without draining for free.
Huh.
Feels bad.
Yeah, missed that, I guess. A lot of missed triggers there. Unfortunate. Alright.
Oh, Ron scoops it up
It
anyway.
did not matter.
That quest did absolutely nothing from being on turn 1.
Yeah, there was the only creature that was ever in the graveyard was the Transmogrant.
Got a Nantuko, it looks like.
Not a lot of these archetypes showing up in Modern from MH3, so really only the commons, uncommons that have been showing up are pretty much red. So we got a lot of the energy producers that have been showing up in Modern. Not a lot of the nothing modified. Not really any of the Dimir cards either. I guess the most modern notable card besides the Soren has been like the swamp drain effect. It's the two black mana you drain equal to the number of swamps you control. It shows up at coffers. That's about it.
Seems really good in coffers, I would imagine.
Transmogrant right on curve. It's an Nantuko. That's a problem.
It sure is.
Nobody played the land before we played the Nantuko if we were going to play it for turn.
We definitely could have made a bug. We're not playing it for turn, though. We're going to make a dude.
Yeah, so enters the battlefield, you can either choose to proliferate or put a shield counter on it. Chooses to put the shield counter on it.
Imagine next turn we go Nantuko, play a land, make a copy of the Proud Pack Rhino.
Should be... Yeah, seems good. Makes a copy of it, and then you can put another shield counter on something.
And that does appear to be what Ron is going for.
Yeah, Nantuko.
Here's the forest. Copy?
Landfall trigger.
And copy.
Copy it is. It's another Proud Pack Rhino.
Shield counter on this guy.
Yeah, 2 shield counters on it. Bestowed by Nantuko. It's bounce or bust. So that thing is not dying. The only out I have in my deck, I believe, is Deem Inferior to be able to bounce the Rhino. But at this point, damage has kind of been done.
Life point swing of 6 off that 1 menace attack.
Yeah, I think things are going to get really bad really fast for me here, though.
Especially with this Proud Pack Rhino just making another one each turn.
Yep, here comes another Proud Pack Rhino. Off the Nantuko.
Third Proud Pack Rhino. Probably a third shield counter?
Looks like we're making a shield counter. Goes
For
on the new
another
one.
Makes sense. Gonna go ahead and bestow onto the third one. Swing it in first.
7.
Is it not a normal copy?
What?
Does it make a normal copy?
Yeah, I was misunderstood on how Nantuko worked.
Colorless, it makes it
I was under the impression that it made a 1/1 copy of the creature. It is making just copies of the creature.
Yeah, these are all copies.
So, realizing how horrible this is for me. Nantuko, another creature, escaped into Modern. Doing very well there for Titan, most notably being able to be a Splinter Twin style effect whenever equipped to a Titan, a Grazer, or just a Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
It also has some interesting lines with Dryad Arbor.
Yes, saw that from the Pro Tour yesterday. Dryad Arbor creating a landfall trigger whenever you copy it. So if you Nantuko a Dryad Arbor, copy a Dryad Arbor, landfall trigger, copy a Dryad Arbor, landfall trigger, copy a Dryad Arbor. Really cool. Yeah. Oh my god, this game's over. Yeah, 5/8 reach makes a Scion. This game is getting really bad. Oh no, we're cycling. Okay.
Yeah, we sure did cycle it because we already
that was
spent them.
still on my end step. I
Sure
see.
was.
All right.
So now we just have all this mana to work with.
Another land means another Rhino. Trigger. Now, notably, these Rhinos can proliferate to add more shield counters to more Rhinos, and just so on and so forth.
Seems good.
Yeah, proliferate.
Yeah, that first one with 3 shield counters on is just never dying. That thing has a dying 4.
4 mana. Bestows the unicorn. This should be the point where I scoop, but I don't. Because boy is it over at this point.
It's +2/+2 and Mentor.
I think we're holding out hope for that flesh rapier to just get in with a ton of damage. Does not look like we have it in hand, so it's not looking like we have a whole lot of outs at the moment.
Yeah, Demon Farrier still able to bounce the Rhino.
Sure does, but then both those bestow creatures fall off.
Yeah.
3/3 with the 1/1 counter.
I'll block here. Take 6.
Alright, eats a shield counter on the 4/4 Rhino.
We get another land drop next turn, it's not gonna matter.
Why is it a 4/4? Oh, the Mentor trigger.
Sure
It has
is a Mentor
1/1 counter.
trigger.
Yeah, there's a 1/1 counter on it as well.
So it just gets bigger next turn, becomes a 5/5.
Yeah, plus all the proliferating Rhinos are now able to proliferate 1/1 counters and shield counters every land drop.
Yeah, this spawn's just gonna get sacrificed. Yeah, spawn's gone.
Just 1. Annihilator 1.
Get him with the 6/6.
No blocks.
As that dude is cawing, there's been movement from the meadow.
Logrant.
The chump blocker of all time.
The Prep Pack Rhino with the 2 bestow creatures does not have trample, does he?
No. No, it is a 5/5 with 3 shield counters on it and Mentor.
As well as vigilance, correct?
No. No. It
Does the unicorn not give vigilance?
No, the unicorn just gives +2/+2 and Mentor.
Okay.
Cards in hand.
Alright, so now all of these creatures die, all the modified creatures die, make manifest tokens again.
And exile.
exiles the Transmogrant, which I'm very sad about. That was supposed to be the chump blocker forever.
Looks like he will be chump blocking nothing. Feels bad. Ron's team about to swing in.
Go to combat.
So,
Mentor.
Mentor again. I have no good blocks. Might just see 2 Scions going to hell. Thrown under the bus.
In this case, I get proliferate there.
Trying to decide, do I concede now or do I concede later? Choosing later.
I like this guy to read this last.
Okay. Read the last on the 4/4. Gives me options here. It means I'm not stuck with being totally unable to kill these rhinos. Or at least being unable to kill them and then have them producing more creatures afterwards.
Ron having another bestow unicorn in hand.
Judge, I have Echoes of Eternity in play, and I am cycling a colorless spell.
I think a good line for Ron on next turn is just playing the unicorn, going in for damage, and then playing a land if he gets it. And just proliferating the shit out of these rhinos.
Alright, come in. Annihilator trigger. Ron sacks the bestowed unicorn. Double block. I only get to eat 1 creature.
The one without the shield counter.
Yeah.
So one of the non-shielded rhinos is dead for good. Ravager also dead with no Scions to sack.
Kami's here though.
Lander up, no cards in hand. Death Touch not very relevant. With infinite shield counters on infinite rhinos. And land drop, let's Ron proliferate and make another rhino. If that's what we're going for anyway, let's see. Yep, makes a rhino.
Shield counter here.
There's a shield cut. Chooses not to proliferate.
Proliferating would have just put Alex in a really bad spot at this point by putting up way too much attack to deal with. My Kami's putting in work though with the fact that it has Death Touch, presenting a little bit of a problem.
Alright, combat.
Mentor trigger back online with that pesky little unicorn.
Only attacking with the... Interesting.
Take a total of 2.
Yeah, only attacking with the shield counter rhinos.
Take 2.
Just need some way to draw cards here.
We did not get there.
Did find a flying creature though, which notably can't be blocked by Ron's current board state. And there's also a repeatable threat if it's able to get back from the graveyard, so it could be a good jump blocker here.
Sure could. Ron has his own lifelink vampire in hand that he's probably gonna run out.
Landfall trigger.
Here's another rhino. Are we
Which-
proliferating or shielding?
It's a fetch land too, so we can fetch, landfall. So we can make 2 rhinos this turn, plus landfall triggers. Ron
Proliferating first.
probably gonna eat my entire board here. Nantuko is just so strong. Like, Bestow just such a powerful mechanic. It's so hard to deal with. Like, even if you can kill the creature, the Bestow creature's falling off, plus it has the shield counters, just makes it such a horrible situation for me to be in. It can actually activate this Nantuko at instant speed with this fetch land. Yeah, and I finally scoop it up. Alright, game 3. I'm on the play. Just need to get a fast flying threat before Ron can either set up that Nantuko again or...
And we got Nantuko in hand as well, which definitely hurts. As well as 2 Bestow unicorns.
I'll try this.
Really debating the first... Oh, it's a mulligan. Okay. Mull down to 6 for me. Really debating on what we're putting back. Both players on a mull to 6.
Wondering if we want this card draw or not. The vampire or not. We do want the vampire, so we're gonna go ahead and keep it.
I believe that's actually the draw to sack, which we're hoping to use that Kozilek's Unsealing to make a bunch of tokens to be able to sack to. But double blue
feels bad.
Yeah, not what we want here. We do have the Ravager to cycle, which I think is why we're keeping this hand in the first place, is hopefully to find that 3rd land, cycling this Ravager, and then with the Kozilek's Unsealing being able to kind of just repeat the Ravager every turn. Even if it dies, we can use the Scions that it creates to keep churning it back and forth from the graveyard.
I think we run out the Glyph Elemental, did we not? Yeah, the Glyph Elemental is coming out to start getting landfall triggers of its own.
End step cycles. Draws a swamp. Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to
run out of Kami.
Looks like it.
He seems good.
Yeah, he's gonna run out of Kami. Notably, this Consuming Conscriptions in hand does not feel great, especially with not a second black source to tap for it.
Yep, Consuming Conscription doing pretty much nothing in hand. Landfall making this a 3/3 is going to put it out of reach very fast.
We got Landfall. Go ahead and make the 3/3. Decide not to run out the Nantuko first to make the bug. Goes in for attacks,
yes.
Dies.
I remember being surprised about that attack.
And then the Evolving Witness comes out, threatening to bring it back.
Alright, so I can once again try and consume a conscription in response to the adapt. To stop Ron from buying back his Glyph Elemental from the graveyard. Or his land.
He's gonna buy it back. Consuming Conscription's coming in at just the right time. Ron passes after that.
Oh. Alright, Kozilek's Unsealing. With the sack outlet in hand to be able to sack these Scions, draw some cards, flashback from the graveyard. Plays an Ooze, and then MDFC removal spell coming in as a land.
Exile. Yeah, exile.
Decides to come and tap though, so that he doesn't bolt himself. Ron now has access to his Breathe Your Last on his next turn.
Yeah, probably once again trying to do it in response to adapting. Or in response to this Nantuko likely being bestowed. Yep, looks like Ron's just going to try and bestow. I'm going to respond and kill this Ooze.
Yeah, this Ooze is gone, gaining 2 life off the Breathe.
How does bestow work if I kill the thing in response to trying to bestow it?
The bestow thing just comes into play.
Getting a Judge Call on this Bestow falling off in response.
Yeah, bestow. Now I know at least. Bestow creates the creature, even if you're trying to bestow the creature and it's removed, you still create the creature side instead of the aura side.
Sure do. Now we've got this 1/1 bug and this etched slith. That's hopefully gonna start just getting in for damage.
I've got 2 cards in hand, notably one of them requiring me to have a creature in play to do anything. I haven't seen what the other one does.
Definitely feels bad against this massive board that Ron is starting to make.
Combat.
Getting in for 3. This edge slith is gonna get his 1/1 counter.
Sneaky Snacker is a good draw. Fun little interaction with Sneaky Snacker and this sack to draw 2, or sack draw 2, is it immediately returns the Sneaky Snacker because that's the 3rd card you've drawn that turn. And I can do that from the graveyard as well, since the insight, consuming insight, has flashback for 5 as well. So next turn I can pay 5, sack Sneaky Snacker.
Oh, and that edge slith is gone. Temporarily, maybe. Temporarily,
yep, looks like it's
indeed.
2nd from the top.
Oh, we've got land drop return. Are we making another bug?
Yep, bug.
What's up, bugs?
Sowing a unicorn onto Nantuko.
This Nantuko now has Mentor.
3/3 with Mentor makes it out of range of Sneaky Snacker to block.
Swing 5, 6 total because of the Mentor trigger.
Swing 4, 5, 6.
I'm just gonna take it. I need this creature in play so I can be able to sack and draw 2 cards, because I'm pretty sure I have nothing going on at this point in hand, and I'm like very desperately seeking out answers for Ron's board state. But Bestow is just such a strong mechanic. Like, even if I find an answer to be able to get rid of this Nantuko, the Bestowment Unicorn comes back. Plus Nantuko has already created so many bugs.
The Sneaky Snacker is putting in work, though, being a little workhorse for the deck at the moment. We get to a Vampire, which is something.
Well,
And
it
it's
was.
gone.
It was something. The power of one of the greatest rares from this set, Nantuko, really showing in this game, as well as just the sheer power of the bestow mechanic. Ron's deck just like so redundant against removal, like whether it be the shield counters produced from the rhinos in game 2 or the bestow creatures in game 3. All the removal spells that my deck has, like being Demir, I just have a lot of removal.
Yeah, and that's game. No real answers to that Nantuko.
Yeah, congrats to Ron. 3-0 takes this league. I believe there's this was a small. Yep, that was just a 3-0 for this pre-release.
Anything to see.
Modern Horizons 3 pre-release, incredibly powerful with all the Modern Horizons cards. Thank you for joining us for our Sunday pre-release event for Modern Horizons 3. I was Alex, joined with me,
Gabriel Hipp.
All right, and we'll see you all in the next video.